As a department, we have been looking at Solo taxonomy as a tool to extend how the students think about their design work. I've started doing this in a junior project and my first project at level 1, which is looking at the work of an architect. So I looked at the levels of Solo taxonomy and I laid these out against the jobs that they have to do in that first level 1 project. Then I took that across to my project planning and see what assistance I could give the students in order to get them up to that higher level. So the project is broken down into tasks, and the first thing that they have to do is to choose which architect they're going to look at. So I've given them a choice of 3 here, and when they click on these links it takes them to another site page which has some pictures, a video and some links for them to go and find things out for themselves about that architect. I've been quite structured about that at level 1 so they don't wander off and get sidetracked into other things, which is very easy on the internet. I want to keep them quite tight on the architect that they're looking at. They can browse through the choices that I've given them and choose which one they like the best, and then they start the research section, and that is split into separate steps. The first step is just basically collecting a load of pictures of the architect's work that they're going to put in a Picasa web album, similar to the one at the top of the page here, and they're going to embed that on their DVC project site. Then they're going to start collecting their information. Now I've given them this document here where it's split into 2 sections. One is sources, where they are going to put the website links down of where they found their information, and this section here, information, is to cater for their urge to copy and paste and dump from the internet. This is basically a copy and paste section. They're going to throw everything in here that they're finding, and then what they have to do, the next instruction, is analyze. They have to read through what they've collected, and with the highlighter function on Google Docs they have to highlight the parts that they think are the most important in regards to their architect and their work and the information that they have to find. Then they're going to take that through to this diagram, analysing your architect. So I want them to write up their key points down here. They can have a copy of this document and they can extend this to me as many key points as they want. They have to explain what this tells them about the design style of that architect, illustrate what they're saying here with a few examples from the pictures that they've chosen, and then they have to say how all of these things work together to produce that particular design style for that architect. Then producing their write-up, because there is 4 literacy credits connected with this internal project, they have to write it themselves. So I've given them a guideline with this document, questions to answer, quite structured, but they have to answer it in their own words from the information collection, the analysis and the breakdown that they've already done. Then they can start designing their layout. The first thing that we do is look at existing posters. So they click on that link and it takes them through to some posters to look at, and we've got some key questions to answer. What's the focus of attention? Why is it the focus of attention? How does your eye flow across the design? How have they used colour? And they have to analyse a poster of their choice. They are then going to take that information and start applying it with their thumbnail sketches. Now they're going to do these on paper and they can be quite rough, as you can tell by these examples on here. All we want is the main elements laid out, the main image, where the title's going to be, where the main writing is going to be. They are going to photograph their thumbnails and analyse their thinking. Now their thinking is here in this box. What's the focus of attention? How does your eye flow? How have you presented the written information? How do you use white space? And what effect does all of this have? Does it work? Does it not work? Then they're going to go down and develop their best ideas. They've got a choice of development tools. At school we have got Adobe Illustrator, which they can use on the computers. Online they can use a program called Pixlr, so they can do some development work at home. It doesn't all have to be done at school. But the main questions they're asking themselves: how many pictures are they going to use? How are they going to present that written information? What's going to be a good font? How am I going to use colour to make things stand out? How am I going to lay things out? These are all things that they are going to try out with different developments of their design, and they're going to analyse what they're doing as they're doing it. Then they're going to decide what works best, and they're going to do a final poster. Now, we're aiming for excellence, so if we take these words from the assessment standards, they're looking at accuracy, visual impact, precise use of the techniques, knowing what they're doing and why they're doing it. We then have to evaluate it. Again, I've given them a very structured guideline for their evaluation, so that when we get down to the assessment guidelines for promote design work to an audience using visual communication techniques, achievement with excellence is effectively promote design work to an audience, and they can choose their appropriate composition techniques and say why they've done it. High quality visual communication techniques, selected and applied computer applications, effectively promotes the main features of the work. Now if they go through all of the steps through the project, then they will have covered all of the points that we need to achieve with excellence.